What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Commander Rio checking in with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. Today I got two friends of the show. We all know them. We all love them. Well, one's polarizing at this point, so maybe not everyone loves one of these people.
That's Livy. That's definitely Livy.
But
I've got some enemies.
We got the superstar tandem from WJLA, ABC 7 News sports anchor Scott Abraham and Olivia Garvey. How are y'all doing on this Tuesday night?
Rio, I love the voice. I love the pipes. I mean, I think you could take our job pretty soon here.
Yeah. You're going to have to take over for Scott and I.
I know.
So good.
I love it.
Hey, it's all about big threes in sports now. So you know what I'm saying?
I like that. Scott, we got to use that.
I like that. That's a good one.
It's all about trios in sports now. I don't mind playing the Chris Bosh role. I'm a little loud and I'm a little brash to play that role, but I will gladly join you two because I love what you guys do. And
Rio, that's perfect because this is what you call a transition because you speak of trios. What about that trio of Bezos, Jay-Z, and maybe Matthew McConaughey? How's that for a transition?
Scott. Nicely done, Scott.
This is how you know you got the professionals on the show. I didn't even have to segue into it. Scott brought the topic up. We're going to get right to it, but we're going to start with Olivia on this one. Washington, the team finally looks like it's for sale. I know you haven't been here your whole life like myself, but for 22 years of my 31 years of on this planet, I've wanted Daniel Snyder to sell this football team. It's finally happening. How does this news hit you guys? And how does it affect what you guys do every day at work?
I mean, I think it's affecting you guys more than it's affecting us. It's a lot of work when these things come out for Scott and I. I mean, Scott's going out there. He's asking the big questions in Ashburn. It's a lot of work. You're trying to, see what's going on. Of course, Scott finds out very quickly. And I have to know, how are you finding out so quickly when these articles are coming out and you're posting them on Twitter? Dude, I'm like 45 minutes late every
because I don't have a life.
I know. I'm like 45 minutes late. No, but I feel like that loss to the Vikings was kind of bittersweet in a way. Like you guys kind of won, fan wise, because you guys find out, okay, we're possibly, getting a new owner. Dan Snyder's out. You guys are hoping for
what's happening. It's not even possible. It's happening.
It's okay. It's fine. It's set in stone. It's happening. But last week must have been so great. And that's what we heard from the fans. Like, this is optimistic. This is exciting. What's going to happen. I love the idea of Jay-Z and Matthew McConaughey and Bezos coming together and owning this franchise. I think that would be so cool. I think it would be cool for you guys. It's just, but it's a lot. It's a lot. And this is a really long road. So I hope everyone knows that. Buckle up because it's not going to happen overnight.
Absolutely. It's not going to happen overnight. Scott, because I know Scott is the most bold, brash person in the media scene here. Yeah, he's still trying to get his access and credentials back for Jason Wright after the Carson Wentz interview. I need Scott to find Jeff Bezos or Jay-Z if they ever touch down in the DMV area and put a mic in their face, like he put a mic in Ted Leonce's face and said, "Hey, are you buying the Nationals, Ted?"
Watch. On the team. And Scott's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to go to dinner with them." Yeah, we're going to go to dinner.
Livy loved that one. Me and Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted.
Scott, it's interesting. Like, it's not every day, Rio, that an NFL team goes up for sale or potentially for sale. So you knew there's going to be some big name suitors with some deep pockets. Now, it's well documented. Our friends at the Washington Post, no offense, Dan Snyder does not like the Washington Post. Who owns the Washington Post? Jeff Bezos. Yep. So I think there's a little gamesmanship on Bezos's part to maybe bring in Matthew McConaughey because McConaughey is pretty close with Dan Snyder. They've been kind of chummy over the years. McConaughey's gone on his yacht. So it might be a little gamesmanship there. But there's a lot of interesting, other possibilities. Like I look at Byron Allen. He could be the first black owner of a National Football League team. He was in the running for the Denver Broncos. He fell short. There's going to be probably individuals that kind of come out of nowhere that come to the forefront. So there's going to be no shortage again. I know a lot of fans are hoping he sells completely. Everything's on the table according to, various team spokespeople for the Commanders. But don't be surprised still if maybe Dan brings on a minority partner, plays that game of trying to get a stadium. He's very prideful. He loves his Commanders. He's always been kind of a fanboy first. There's a part of it where he's a boxer and may not want to go quietly. So I don't think it's set in stone, but we'll see.
Listen, as a fan, I'm taking it as set in stone. I hear what you're saying. I don't even want to hear logic right now. I don't want to hear any rationales that could mean Daniel Snyder staying on as the owner here, because calling him a boxer, he'd be the worst boxer of all time, but he's like a TV show villain of a show that you follow for years. It's like, how does he keep getting away with it? Then you get to the end of the show and it finally comes to an end. He has Congress staring up his neck. He got the feds after him for financial improprieties. He has 1,000 women talking about workplace misconduct. How long can he run and duck subpoenas, man? That has to be stressful. You put your wife as the face, as the figurehead of the organization. Now you're watching your wife get booed because of your indiscretions and ineptitude of an owner for 22 years. At some point, you got to say, just give me the money and let's go. You don't like Jeff Bezos. You don't like the Washington Post. I'll tell you this. This is going to be the biggest sale in the history of team sales in sports. Yeah. Is he really going to turn down a $7 billion check because he doesn't like Jeff Bezos?
Rio, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
It's been just bugging me. So you probably saw my tweet. So I got a tweet from a fan said Dan Snyder selling is the only victory that matters. Is that so? Call me naive. I grew up a Buffalo Bills fan. They're kind of my team. I'm always competitive in the fact I always want my team to win. Are you really at that point of wins, losses, playoff bursts? As long as Dan Snyder sells the team, that's the greatest victory.
I'll say Dan Snyder selling is us winning the Super Bowl. They're equivalent right now. They're equivalent because we don't actually have any realistic chance of seeing a Super Bowl anytime soon. There's going to be a parade in the DMV the day that Daniel Snyder sells the team. And I shit you not, it's going to look like
everyone's getting their peers out and getting ready to go for that parade.
Y'all better join us too. Y'all better bring the cameras and the microphones because it's going to be pandemonium in the DMV. In the moment, losses hurt. I was there on Sunday. The atmosphere was amazing. It was electric, and we had the second best team in the NFC on the ropes with 10 minutes left. Our former quarterback and Taylor Heineke and the team blew it. They blew it in the last few minutes, but at the end of the day, once the last whistle sounded, I said, you know what? We won this week because Dan is out of here. Livy, you grew up in the California area. What are your fan allegiances? I know Scott got his Buffalo Bills because you look very entrenched and comfortable in the DMV area. I think we're starting to steal your heart, and I see you on your off days with Charlotte McBride. Y'all are at Capitals games, at Nationals games. You're a DC gal at this point.
I am. I don't have a football team because when I was growing up, there wasn't a football team in Los Angeles. The Rams had left. They had gone to St. We don't – I mean, I guess San Diego, but not really. I didn't grow up going to Chargers games.
You got us.
They're there. Yeah, I didn't grow up going to Chargers games. My dad was a huge Patriots fan. So I guess I don't really have one. I never I love football and I cheered, for a certain team on Sunday or teams on Sunday, but I do. Yeah, you guys are definitely bringing me in. I'm a huge Caps fan now. That will never change.
I can tell.
I love the Nats. I grew up going to Nats games. We always came here and visited, so I love the Nats. The Commanders, I wouldn't call myself a fan. I love covering the team, and they keep me on my toes. But I wouldn't call myself a fan of the the team. But yeah, I love covering them. I mean, I love seeing you guys and the fans, and you guys are a hell of a group. Let me tell you, like. The DMV has some great fans, and I think that's what I've fallen in love with is like all of you guys and how much you love your teams here.
It definitely feels like you fit right in with the scene.
Thanks.
At the end of it, like you can wear burgundy and gold at any point, I promise you, because the rest of the DC teams have stole your heart. When new ownership comes in here and things are actually running like a well-oiled machine, and
then the Commanders can be my team.
Exactly.
I did get a nice DC proper jacket. That's cool. I'm very excited.
Oh, I gotta see. I mean, Liv.
Wait. Time out. Who got the DC proper jacket?
I see Julie.
Who did?
DC proper.
What? You got a jacket?
Oh, you didn't get one?
Oh, you got. What color did you get? You get black or the pink?
I got black. I'm not a pink person. I don't wear pink.
You're not a pink person. Wear your pink.
DC proper. If you're watching this, we got some business.
Hold on. Where's your picture with the jacket? Because Liv is gonna get a fit off.
I don't have it. Well, you should have took a picture of Taylor Heineke, Scott, and posted it on Twitter. That's what I did.
I am salty.
I'm supporting our local businesses here.
Why don't you go do a story on them then?
I will. You don't think I'm not? That's already
okay. I want to see it next week then.
Hey, but Liv is like the local scene fashionista, so they had to get her the jacket. We look at Liv is one of the best dressed people on TV here, and I'm not just saying that because I like her. And by the way,
Scott, I have good fashion sense.
My father can co-sign that too, because my father was like, if you ever get Olivia Garvey back on the show, tell her he said tell her she puts them on. That's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Scott has some good suits. Scott rocks some good suits. He's just salty. Salty.
And I love the brunette, by the way.
Thank you.
See, yes. Yes.
I'm getting used to it.
What made you change?
Yeah, it's yeah.
He asked you why you had a change. Go answer.
Why I changed? Because my hair was breaking off from getting it blonde.
Too much upkeep.
Yeah, I had to change it. It was breaking off from bleaching, so I was like, I'm just gonna go and be a brunette now. Scott, you like it, right?
I love it.
Oh, it looks great. I'm definitely a fan of it. Who thought Olivia Garvey could look better, but she looks better as a brunette. But let's actually talk about some football. I've had y'all on here for 12 minutes. As you can see, we're friends. I'm cool with Scott and Olivia. We can just kick the shit at any time. There was a game Sunday. There was actually a football game Sunday in which Washington held a 10-point lead with about 11 minutes left, and then everything went to hell. We've seen Carson Wentz. We've seen Taylor Heineke. I know me, the fan, I would like to see us go to this rookie at some point soon, because why the hell not?
I knew that was coming.
You knew I was going to get to it, because I seen your tweet yesterday and my answer was right goddamn now. What were your thoughts on the game from yesterday? I'll start with you, Liv.
I was packing up my stuff when they had that 10-point lead. And I was like, all right, this is it. They're done. They're going to win. The Commanders got this. And then I forgot that the Vikings do this every week. They come from behind in their fourth quarter team. And like Terry McLaurin said, and they just didn't stop until it was like Kirk Cousins' Super Bowl when they won that, by the way. Did you see him on the airplane with his shirt off?
Hey, shout out to Kirk, man. I as our fans, I know he was on there. He was and that is the funniest shit ever that they do that with him every week.
Yeah, it's crazy, but they're rocking right now. Taylor Heineke, we didn't really get to see that team magic as much as we'd hoped on Sunday. I was waiting for that second half, Heineke magic, but it wasn't there. He didn't look great. I mean, I can't believe he threw that ball to Samuel in triple coverage and they got like those things are so Heineke, but yeah, it was an upsetting loss. It was devastating. And Commander should have won that one. Like I said, I was packing up my stuff and I was going to go down to the press room, ready to talk with the players and coach about, getting their 4th straight win. But that wasn't the case. The Vikings came on top, and now they're a 7-1 football team. I don't know how, but
oh my God, 7-1 with a 10-point. Oh my God, I'm still disappointed. I was talking so crazy in our suite because we were in the suite on Sunday, me and my boys, because my guy won us a suite.
Look at you all bougie.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even down there with the common folk.
Rio's so bougie.
Yeah, Rio, bougie.
Hey, one day. Scott, tell me what you think about the game Sunday.
Olivia loves this analogy. I look at Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz. They're in the same amusement park, right? They're just different roller coaster rides. It's kind of the same thing. Taylor has his strengths and the weaknesses. Carson has his strengths and weaknesses. And it's just, sometimes you just want to pound your head against the wall because there's always a play in the football game where you're like, Taylor, what are you doing? Why are you throwing that ball? And that interception changed the whole complexion of the game, gave Minnesota the short field. Talk about all you want, the penalty by Ridgeway, but it was that interception that really changed everything. 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. You got to win those games, Rio. You look at the week before with Indianapolis, the roles were reversed, right? It's unfortunate they couldn't finish. And in terms of Sam Howell, you're going to see him. It's not going to be for, a couple of weeks, but I could totally see Sam Howell getting the start the last couple of weeks in the season because they have to figure out what do they have in Sam Howell? What can he do at the NFL level? Because we're going to be in the same situation that we were this past offseason.
In every offseason of my fan life, we've been trying to find a quarterback since 1999. It's unfathomable. It's infuriating. It's exhausting. Ron's going into year 4, and they haven't taken a swing at a young quarterback yet. We keep putting Band-Aids over quarterback bullet holes, and we can't find a solution. We've seen what Carson Wentz had. If he plays 70% of the snaps for this team, we lose a 2nd-round pick. So he can't come back when he gets cleared in a couple weeks. That would be stupid. That would be negligent. It would be criminal malfeasance.
I know, but they have, you
can't leave $28 million on the sideline.
Yes,
he's already paid.
You can't do it.
Rio.
That is a knife in the back.
Rio, there's a reason, why they defended Carson Wentz so much in the offseason and kind of protected him. There's a reason why probably Jason reacted the way he did. That was their quarterback. That was their golden goose. They were putting all their eggs in the Carson Wentz train. So I'm telling you, I think he's if what I'm expecting is probably Washington's going to get blown out, lose against Philly on Monday night.
Oh, for sure.
I think they're going to bring him back. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think when we go to Houston the following week, I would like to see how it's definitely going to be Carson. I know.
Ronald. See Sam Howell. I don't see Ron Rivera just putting the rookie in, and unless they're not
until they're eliminated, until they're officially eliminated. Rio.
I don't see him doing that unless they're out of the playoffs. I don't see him being like, yeah, let's see this. No, I don't see that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I know Ron very well. Ronald Eugene Rivera is a very predictable coach at this point. Carson is going back in the week the doctors clear him to play. And I think that's going to be after the Eagles game. It's going to be the Houston Texans game. They're going to put Carson back in. Carson's going to play a good game because the Texans are actually one of the few teams in the league that are worse than us. And he's going to look good. And they're going to be like, see, it's our guy. He's back. Heineke held it down for a couple weeks.
Rio, I want to counter that. I don't think Washington's that bad. I think the defense is really legit. I think the defense is legit, dude. I really do. And they're keeping them in a lot of ball games. Yes, they can't score over 17 points. The offense is a problem. Blame it on Scott Turner. Blame it on the quarterbacks. But the defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. That defensive line, hopefully Chase Young comes back. I think some of their young cornerbacks, Benjamin St. Juste, I love his growth and development.
Chase Young is like an urban legend at this point. He's talking about.
I know, but if he can provide some pass rush on third downs or whatnot, maybe he's not going to be the game record that he was his rookie year. But still, I think a Chase Young is better than no Chase Young. I think the defense is playing extremely well, especially with some injuries of a Cole Holcomb, and I'm very pleased with the way this defense has been playing.
They're so underrated. They're so I'm reading, like, we don't see, Sports Illustrated and ESPN talking about this defensive line. They're so underrated, and I think Jonathan. What?
Deron Payne's going to get paid. I mean, he's going to be gone. I'll be surprised.
We have to do it.
Jonathan Allen absolutely rocked Kirk Cousins on Sunday. I mean, they were taking him down. They weren't like. I mean, look at that. Look at that one play when Deron just hammered Kirk, and Kirk threw just an absolute dime to Jefferson. I mean, it was perfect. God. I mean, it's just one of those things where, the offense goes through spurts where they're 3 and outs, they can't do anything, and it's the defense, holding the offense to a field goal or getting a 3 and out. This defense is not why Washington lost that game against Minnesota.
Oh, hell no. And as critical as I am on the coaching staff, especially Ron, Scott, and Jack has finally figured out how to utilize the talent that we have on this team. The defensive line is going crazy every week. The Payne, Allen, Sweat, they're getting constant pressure. If we like Benjamin St. Juste and Jamin Davis
I think Jamin Davis is really developed. Yeah, I think he's taking a lot of strides in the right direction. So there's pieces there that I'm excited about. And, it's the offense. My fear is Carson goes back there, and we're going to talk about the offensive line again and their issues, because with Heineke, you're kind of having a Band-Aid on that offensive line where he can extend plays, use his mobility. But with Carson, you're probably going to see those 3 or 4 sacks a game.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. All Carson can do is throw. He can't move post his ACL tear. He was a magician before he tore his ACL. Now he looks like he can't. He moves like a sloth out there.
It's all mental with Carson. He can't get out of his head, and he gets nervous. And he's not a Heineke where he's fearless.
He doesn't like pressure.
He doesn't like pressure. He's not fearless. He can't get out of his own head.
Watch it, Liv. You go get your credentials taken too.
Well, let's be honest, and I feel for the guy, because having a mental block is so frustrating. It is so frustrating. We all go through it, and the poor guy has a mental block sometimes on the football field, and I can't imagine how frustrating that is for him. I can't.
He starts seeing ghosts circa Sam Darnold 2019. As soon as he's hit a couple times, he gets rattled, and he starts seeing pressure even when it isn't there. He walks in the sacks. That's what you get with Carson. Then you go to Heineke. He's fearless, and he has heart. But he has heart and he has feet.
But he has those plays. You're like,
it's head scratching. He plays very low IQ football. I'm one of the fans who will actually be honest about who Taylor Heineke is. He's fun. He's a great story. I would love to have a beer with the guy. Don't want to see him start quarterback games for my team more than 2 weeks, because
he's the backyard football. And
hero. Just imagine what the narrative would be if he didn't complete that touchdown pass to Curtis Samuel, because let's be honest, that ball should have been intercepted.
He would have 98 yards for the day, and it would have been terrible. It would have looked really bad, because just like the interception, which he had 2 receivers in the flat open, and the person he threw the ball to, the 6'6" tight end Logan Thomas, he skies it, he throws it to LeBron James, and it goes for an interception. But worse than the interception were the throws he missed. He had a swing route to John Bates up the left sideline in the red zone that probably goes for a touchdown if he makes the throw. He threw that shit in the 4th row of the stadium. But that's what we get here in Washington. We always play 2 to 3 quarterbacks every year. No one takes the job. That's why I appreciated Kirk Cousins, because he was always available and he always produced. Liv, you got to go now, right?
No, she's fine.
I'm good. I got
she's fine.
5 minutes.
You good for a couple more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. But
how do you see this? Get out of here with your nonsense.
I got to check in on the celebrity in here. We got Olivia Garvey. She got all everybody wants a piece of Olivia.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, she's definitely a celebrity. DC proper. I mean, shit.
You're so jealous. You're so salty. Like I said, DC proper, happy to support.
Hey, supporting local businesses. That's what I'm talking about. But speaking of you two in the studio, y'all are hilarious, by the way. I want to ask you guys a couple either or. Who's the bigger diva on the set out of you two?
That would be Scott Abraham straight up. And if anyone in our upstairs is listening to this, they would agree with me. Scott,
you agree?
I wouldn't say I'm a diva. I'm a perfectionist.
He's a
Oh,
perfectionist.
he's definitely. No, that's what a diva would say. That's what a diva would say. He probably needs the room at a certain temperature.
I want everything right. I want everything the way it's supposed to be. And when it's not right, get out of my way.
Yeah, straight up.
He just stamped it. Scott Abraham is the diva of the group. Okay, who has more bloopers and hot mic moments out of you two?
Livy.
Me.
Do you ever? Have you got caught cussing on camera yet?
No.
No, but I've said some questionable words.
So you said some shit that like it might have went viral.
Scott and I are on, like, not by myself, but when Scott and I are on doing a live shot, it's very like relaxed. Like we just like
this. Like we try to make it as conversational as possible.
It's very conversational. So you forget sometimes, or I forget sometimes that you're on a local TV, like you're live, like you come on. You get it together. So I've probably said a word or two that probably isn't TV words, but they never said anything to me.
You curse, right? You curse, right? I know Scott does, because me and Scott have had plenty of off-camera conversations.
Yes, I do.
I know.
The F word is a problem for me.
The F word is the greatest word in the English dictionary. I know Liv cusses, by the way. I caught her coming into training camp one day. She came in at like the end of practice. She was tired as hell. She hadn't had her coffee yet. She was like, "Oh my God, it feels like shit out here today."
No, Scott, that must have been like week 2, and I was just over it.
it was like the second week of camp. It was humid as hell, like sticky outside. Well, okay.
Sounds like me. I don't do humidity. I hate that. I hate it.
So when y'all are watching the games at the stadium, when you're covering them, who's more energetic and like hype watching the games?
I think if a big play happens, I think we both are like, oh, or wow, like we're not really allowed to be vocal. Like we can't be vocal in the press box. We react at the same time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're vocal. Like we're not over the top. I'm probably more vocal monitoring red zone and my bets than he
is, because the idiot. What happened on Sunday?
I bet the Raiders. They were winning 17-0 and they lose.
Oh man,
so I was pretty.
It was a big bet, and I told them not to do it.
They messed your parlay up.
Oh no, it was a single bet. It was a big bet.
Oh, okay, I know the Jets blew a lot of people's parlay because your Buffalo Bills lost to them.
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, they sure did.
Listen, everybody, parlays are for suckers. Don't do parlays.
Don't listen to Scott. Parlays are awesome. They keep
parlays are awesome. Parlays make Sundays interesting. They keep you on your toes. They keep Sunday. Hey, I'm right there with you on the parlays, Liv. I lose a lot of them. I don't like to bet them anymore.
Yeah, you lose them all the time.
But it's the thrill.
I haven't won a parlay in like 2 months.
Right. It's the thrill of them, though. Like it's the.
I haven't won a Saturday parlay in 2 months for college football.
The parlay is the sports equivalent to like a carnival game. Like you're not gonna win. That shit is rigged for the house.
That's a good analogy.
You're gonna go do it because it's
that is very good.
I'm gonna beat this game. I'm better than this game.
I like that.
I'm better than it. But,
I'm gonna use that.
Hell yeah! You know you're gonna get something when you come on with me.
I like that.
I keep it fun. I keep entertaining over here. I see that you're cool with Charlotte McBride, Liv. I know y'all got friends for other networks. There's no like competitiveness like Anchorman where y'all are like fuck the other.
I think that's a big difference with Livy and I. Like I want to beat everybody's brains in, but I feel like she likes to be lovey-dovey with a lot of the people. Am I wrong?
No. I don't like to be lovey-dovey, but like, okay. So Scott, I can give this to Scott.
Y'all are wine buddies.
He has made me more competitive. Well, she's gonna be in my wedding. Like she and I are best friends. Like
I know. I can tell. It's great.
We're very close. Because she was my first ever friend here, besides like Scott. Like those two, Scott and Charlotte, when I first got here. But I've become more competitive. Like I could find myself being like, okay, that's annoying. Like we did that too. But he's made me more competitive, but I still love.
So like I
love everyone.
I respect all my colleagues. I always respect their work. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I want to be the one getting the interview. I want to be the one getting the story. That's just me being.
You can tell. You can tell. I can tell Scott has that energy, man.
That's just me being competitive and having that dog. You know, I talked to Livy about having that dog. And sometimes the dog can go over the edge, but sometimes the dog is what you need at times.
Hey, man,
so there's a balance.
Hey, if y'all ever do it like a Channel 7 versus Channel 9 bloodbath war like they did on Anchorman, please
kick
tell
their ass.
y'all would whoop their ass.
Just don't mess my hair.
Oh yeah, man. We got Scott.
If Charlotte and Darren are listening to this, we like you guys, but
we love them. They want to beat us the stories, and we want to beat them the stories. It's healthy.
That's what it is in our. That's the industry, and that's how it is.
That's the name of the game. Like it's just like me with this YouTube stuff. I love all the guys that create content. I love the guys that've been doing this for years with all the subscribers that have more than me. But my plan is to have more subscribers than all of them because I want to be the best at what I do. It's a competition at the end of the day. Even if you do have love and rapport for everybody. Before y'all go, I want y'all to give me your final record predictions for the Commanders for this season, and I want y'all to call your shot. Who buys the team? So I want a record prediction, owner prediction, how much the team sells for it, and y'all can go. Liv.
Let me look at the schedule here. What they got? Go ahead, Livy.
Yeah, well, I have to look at the schedule.
I got you. Hold on. We got Philly on Monday Night Football. We got the Houston Texans. We played the Giants twice. We have the San Francisco 49ers. We have the Browns. We have the Falcons, and then we have the Cowboys to end the season.
Ria, what's your prediction for?
My prediction is what Ronald Eugene Rivera always is, and that's a 7-win coach. That is what he is.
We're getting 7. In
12 years as a head coach, Ron has won more than 7 games 3 times in 12 years. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I love Ron the guy. Ron the head coach is not the answer for this team. 7 wins because that's what we are. We won 7 in 2020, 7 in 2021. We're going to win 7 again in 2022, which is going to piss me off because my whole thing is make the playoffs or suck. Make the playoffs or be in position to draft the future of your franchise, or be ready if you go 7-10 to push the cards in to go get a guy. How many wins you got, Scott?
I'm going 8-9. They're going to beat Texans. They're going to beat the Falcons. They're going to beat the Giants at home, and they're going to beat the Browns at home. Everyone else they lose to. So I say 8-9.
We're going to be Watson's Browns.
Okay, wait.
True. Yep.
I have to go because I have my Zoom, so I'm going to do mine really quickly. I think 8-9. I totally agree with you on that. I think Jeff Bezos, Jay-Z, and Matthew McConaughey, if it is a full ownership, if it is a full sale, because I don't fully believe that it is, but if it is, they're going to take it. And then what was the last one?
The last one was how much the team going to sell for?
$7 billion.
$7 billion.
I'm going with the field. I'm going wild card. Somebody outside of Bezos in that group. I think somebody else out of nowhere is gonna buy the Commanders.
All right, I appreciate y'all for coming on with me tonight, Scott and Liv. It's always love. Keep doing great work.
Love you, buddy.
Love you guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Bye.